Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NFL Tribune podcast, where we are going to be talking about the NFL because the season has already started. Joining me are my friends Dustin and Ty. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Thank you for literally following my directions. Okay, so for those who do not know, we each have our own respective teams that we like. So we're going to be talking about them and some of the other teams as far as the off season goes and what's going on in week one. So the first thing I want to start off with is
Um,
Dustin. How do you think the Falcons handled their offseason?
I think they handled it better than in previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Better, better signings. They shored up the defensive line and linebackers. It seems like.
Who were some of your notable signings?
Jesse Bates and Lorenzo Carter were big free agency signings.
Jesse Bates would be a really good addition for you guys.
Yeah, what idiot team would have gotten rid of Jesse Bates?
Listen, we're not gonna go there just yet.
just yet.
I think. Well, okay, never mind. You guys also drafted Bijan Robinson in the first round, and he's looked pretty good.
He's been solid. I'm not a big fan of how early we drafted him. My assumption on that is going to be most likely they couldn't get a trade. They wanted to trade down for him. So
Yeah, that's fair. So you got that. Who did you guys get in the preceding rounds, or the succeeding rounds?
we picked up tackle Matthew Bergeron from Syracuse. Shore up our left tackle with why does name leave me now?
Who you
It's a
talking?
really weird name.
Who you talking about?
Our left tackle. He's getting older. He's gonna be out soon.
Uh,
Uh,
Jake
so
Matthews.
Yes, Matthews.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Jake Matthews?
He's a little inconsistent.
Oh, okay.
He's not bad, but he's not the best either.
Any
so we actually just got some I guess breaking news
Oh.
with Cup is gonna miss 4 games. He's on IR.
Oh, Cooper Cup. Yeah,
Yep.
he injured his hamstring. That's unfortunate, really. Um, Dustin, do you feel like you guys got any late round steals in this draft?
Not really.
There's everybody's pretty much picked where they should have been.
Yeah, best position, best player at the time for most of the positions.
That's fair. Any other notable offseason news you guys had?
Not in the big sense. We signed Bud Dupree off the Titans,
Oh, really?
and we picked up Tyler Heineke as a backup and possible starter, depending on how Riddler starts.
Oh, yeah, you guys did get Taylor Heineke. I really like him.
Yes, I do too.
In the preseason, you guys have looked pretty decent. Of course, I didn't get a chance to watch your preseason games, but I kind of saw some of Bijan's highlights against some of our defense, and men can move.
Yeah, Bijan's looked great. I'm liking the way he's looking, especially being behind Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, they. I saw
He's
that
gonna
they don't
build
even have
up
a
real
role for
well.
him yet.
They do. They
They,
actually made up. He actually has his own position. They made a new position especially for him called the Joker position.
I know I saw that, and he changed his profile picture on Instagram to that, or is it Twitter or X?
Yeah, I think it's X.
I think it's X. Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
dumb.
Hey, no, look, it's X for how many passes Tony caught.
All right. We're gonna move on from that. And Ty, the Titans off
Yeah.
season. How do you feel like they did?
I feel like we did pretty well, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of Bud Dupree, he hadn't been doing great for us.
And he's
So
he's been having some off the field issues and some injury issues, if I recall.
yeah, yeah. We got rid of a bunch of big names, which is scary. Always is. Got rid of Lawan. Got rid of Bullock. Thank God.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Getting rid of Woods was a I mean, he didn't really do much for us, but he was consistent for us at least
Mm-hmm.
in an offense that kind of wasn't doing anything. We got rid of Ben Jones, which is always scary getting a new center when you have somebody who's very consistent for you for a long time.
Right.
Getting Murphy Bunting though, I think that's really going to help our cornerback core.
Oh, I forgot you guys signed him. He was pretty decent in Tampa.
Yeah, I want to say he did pretty good in the preseason too. Wasn't he in the second game for a little bit?
Yeah,
Might
get
have
get get
Yeah.
him out of my division.
been.
More good players out of my division, I'm happy.
Hey, see, that right there says it was a good signing.
Oh, if I remember correctly, Ty, you guys got Peter Skoronsky in the first round, who could be a good tackle or a really good
Hell yeah.
guard.
He looked fucking great in the preseason, so I'm excited.
I'm excited for you guys. That offensive line, I think, has been a weakness for you guys for a while.
Yeah, it's been I wouldn't say it's a weakness, but it's been a question mark. You never know what offensive line you were going to get that game.
I mean, your offense runs through your offensive line.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry just can't do it himself. I mean, he
he
can,
can
but you don't
he
really
can
want
sure
him
try.
to.
He can sure try.
He can try. Um, but what were some of your other draft picks that you got?
The ones that I'm interested in are obviously Tajay Spears looked really good in his preseason games.
Okay.
And Josh Weil, I've enjoyed watching him a little bit. I think he can learn behind him and not learn, but him and can't get his name right. Okonkwo, Chigazim, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think Chigazim Okonkwo is his name. Is it? I haven't said it too much. So.
It's hard to pronounce. It's something like that.
I
But
hope I got it right, but
I think they mostly call him Chigo Conquo.
yeah.
Is what
But
what most people are calling him.
I'm excited to see him and Josh Weil working together because we usually like to run 2 tight end sets.
Mm-hmm. Who's your starting
Uh,
tight end? Is it that guy that we just talked about?
I think it's Chig.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chig's the official
Yeah.
starter right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Another draft pick I'm looking at is Colton Dowell, wide receiver, hoping he can add something.
Yeah, because
Please.
I know that before you guys got DeAndre Hopkins, you boasted the worst wide receiver depth in the entire league. It's
Yeah,
just
it was
not good.
not great.
Traylon
Yeah,
Burks would have been your number
if
one.
only y'all had someone like
AJ
AJ
Brown.
Brown or something like
Yeah.
that. I think he'd be a decent fit for the Titans.
Oh, he
Yeah,
would have.
I haven't heard that before. Nah, not at all.
Oh, it's hard to
What
believe that you
a
You
traded
know we
him.
don't. You know we don't agree with that at all.
I
what
was
a
shocked when draft night came and they traded him.
Bro, we were driving home from Buffalo Wild Wings when that happened. You
Yeah.
saw my reaction to that.
It did.
It was funny. I did a mock draft and I made a joke where they traded him. Like it was just supposed to be a joke, and I watched. I was like, it was a joke.
You made it into fruition. How dare you?
You motherfucker, I'm blaming you. I'm sorry.
But what we haven't talked about, Ty, is your second round pick. You guys saw Will Levis was falling and you traded up to get him.
I'm still undecided on that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he can be really good. He's shown he can be a good quarterback. In the preseason, he didn't look like he was panicking, which is what Willis's problem was last year, and Willis as well wasn't panicking this year, and that huge improvement just right there.
Mm-hmm.
But until we can really see more, I'm gonna reserve my judgment on it. I think it could be a very good pick.
Have the Titans said who their starter is this year at quarterback? I know there was some question at the start of the preseason.
Oh, it's not a question. It's Tannehill.
It's gonna be
Okay.
Tannehill.
And the question is who's going to be behind him? Who's going to be number 2 and 3? If Levis is going to be 2 or if Willis is going to be 2. That's what the question is.
Yeah, it's really between them. Has there been any update on that battle?
Not that I've seen, but obviously, Levis had that injury before the third preseason game.
Uh,
Or was it before the second?
I'm kind of
One of
not
them.
really that surprised looking back at it that Will Levis fell, but I was also kind of surprised that you guys traded up to get him.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that one trading up to get him, but hopefully he proves me wrong.
Right. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about Cincinnati's offseason.
AJ Moore, that sounds familiar.
AJ Moore?
Yeah, we apparently signed him.
Cool.
Huh.
Excuse me.
Cool. Anyway,
So Cincinnati's offseason, we made a lot of good
oh,
moves, in my opinion.
that's why we waived him a month later.
I'm gonna talk about some of our losses. Obviously, we let both of our starting safeties walk. Jesse Bates signed with the Falcons. Von Bell signed with the Panthers. Hayden Hurst also signed with the Panthers. Eli Apple is still in free agency. We finally got rid of him. And
Got rid of the host.
Samaje Perine joined the Broncos. But I think we more than made up for it with free agency and the draft. First of all, we re-signed Jermaine Pratt, this was the last year for him. We re-signed him at 3 years, $21 million, which for a starting linebacker is really good money. Like, we got a really good deal there. We signed Nick Scott from the Rams, who's going to be our starting safety. We got Irv Smith from Minnesota. We signed Terrell Basham. I think he was a practice squad guy. We got Cody Ford, I believe, who was on the Cardinals last year, and Sidney Jones, who was on the Eagles, I believe. But our biggest one is that we signed Orlando Brown away from the Kansas City Chiefs for.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we got him, I think, for 4 years, $64 million. The final offer the Chiefs gave him was like 6 years, $139 million. And that's. Oh, hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe. We are live. Well, we're recording, not live.
Yeah.
Go back to my computer.
Okay. um, but I'm still really shocked that we got Orlando Brown. I love it, of course, because he's one of the better left tackles in the league.
And by the way, you were talking about Terrell Basham.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all waived him back on the 25th.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine then. But with that, we went into the draft like knowing pretty much what we needed. We have a very young secondary, which it comes with time. Our first round pick, which I was a little surprised by, was Miles Murphy, defensive end from Clemson. I know that we still needed a tight end. We could have gotten Michael Mayer right there, but I guess they decided that we needed more depth on the defensive line, which I'll never complain about. Miles Murphy, from watching him in the preseason, he has shown some flashes, but he needs to be more consistent, which will come with time. He's still a rookie. In the second round, we got DJ Turner, the corner from Michigan. Dude is quick. He is really fast. But what concerns me is that he's small. What this sounds familiar. Who was another guy we drafted that was small and fast and could get hurt easily? I don't remember.
No
I don't know,
clue.
I feel like you were really hyped up on him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was. I think he came out 2017 by the
Something like
name of.
that.
Oh, it was John Ross. That's right.
Ah, yeah, the guy that had
Oh,
the what was it, 20-second highlight video?
Yeah, yeah, that's funny.
Here it is, come and get it.
Also, this is Joe. He's a fan of the Commanders.
Yes.
Yes, he is a commie.
He's
Yeah,
a commie. In the
stupid
third
commie.
in the third round, we got Jordan Battle, the safety from Alabama, which for a third round pick, I really like. There's a potential that he may start or be used in 3 safety sets, which we do like to do on defense. Round 4, we got Charlie Jones, wide receiver from Purdue. He seems like the Tyler Boyd replacement because I think Boyd's coming in on the last 2 years of his deal, so we could see Charlie Jones take his spot, and he's made some really good catches in camp. We got Chase Brown in the 5th round from Illinois, who provides really good depth behind Joe Mixon. We got Andre Yosivas from Princeton, wide receiver. He's been making some plays. We got a punter in the 6th round, Brad Robbins from Michigan, who's been doing really good. And then the 7th round, we got cornerback DJ Ivy from Miami, Florida, which all 7 of our draft picks made the team, by the way.
Nice.
Which I was I was impressed with. I was a little concerned that DJ Ivy was gonna get like put on the practice squad or just straight up cut, but no. He's been consistently making plays on Chase, Higgins, and Boyd in practice. So he could be a steal, just like Jimmy Moreland was for the Redskins back in the day.
And then they got rid of him.
They did. But the unit I'm looking forward to watching is the offensive line. I want to see them be really cohesive. That's been a weakness for the past few years. No matter how many resources we poured into it, it's been an issue for whatever reason. I guess with that out of the way, Joe, would you like to talk about the commies off season and how you feel they did?
Well, I mean, they weren't really. I think because of the leadership, the change in leadership, they weren't very active in free agency. So really, the only thing to talk about, I guess, is really the draft.
Mm-hmm.
First round pick Emmanuel Forbes. He's looking solid in preseason. We haven't really. He hasn't played a lot. I don't think. He did concern me off the bat with his weight, but he's listed at 180 now. He was listed at 166, but it seems like he's gained a little. I think they had him gain a little bit of weight because that was just way too fucking small to be playing at the NFL level.
Yeah, there's always that concern for injury.
Yeah, he plays actually really aggressive, especially for his size.
Yeah.
I think he's got really good ball skills. I'm really during preseason, like I said, he's been really aggressive on the in tackling. He's been willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't gotten a pick or anything yet. So I mean, but it is what it is. But I'm honestly optimistic about him. We'll just have to see what happens. I hope he can stay healthy.
Who else did you guys get in the draft?
We actually took another corner in the second round, which I think, from what it sounds like, they're trying him at safety. His name Jartavius Martin.
Oh
He's from
yeah.
Illinois. He was the number. He was like I think he was playing more slot corner. I think that's what he played a lot of in. That's what he played a lot of in college.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they've been moving him to safety. Which he's kind of been stuck behind. We have two pretty solid safeties, so I'm wondering, that was kind of a head scratcher to me. We have two pretty decent. We have Cameron Curl starting at strong safety, and what's his name? Forrest. Can't remember his name. Forrest something now. But we have another starting free safety, so he's kind of stuck behind those two right now. So he hasn't really played a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting to me. But like I said, it wasn't a bad. I didn't think it was. I wasn't mad at the pick when they made it. It was a little bit weird, but at least the guy was supposed to be solid,
Yeah.
Maybe he'll find himself. Maybe he will actually. They'll put him back to slot corner because we do use three corners a decent amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if they felt it was necessary to do that. I know Washington, or not Washington. The Bengals, I believe, took a slot corner. What was his name? You guys had him
TJ
for
Turner.
years.
Wait, hold on.
Back in the day. He played for you guys for a while. Then he went to the Falcons.
Darqueze Dennard.
Yeah, I remember. So some teams do feel the need to take a slot corner high if that's what their defense uses, and I'm guessing this is the case with Washington. See, third round, I believe we went a center.
Yeah,
you kind of had to because our center, Chase Roulier. Yeah, I'm assuming he got a recommendation from his doctor based on injury history, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I think that is the case. But in a situation like that, you always want to prioritize your health.
Yeah, so I can't blame the guy. It is unfortunate. He had just gotten a really good contract extension. He was a very underrated center. I think Dustin and I talked about it. Like the center, you have to be a smart guy. Unlike the quarterback with 60% accuracy, you have to be 100% accuracy when you snap the ball, or else they consider you bad. So,
Yeah,
he was a really solid center. Sucked to lose him. I guess. I don't know if this the Ricky Stromberg is the name. We took him in the third round. It was actually a compensatory pick.
Oh, nice. Wait, compensatory
really.
pick?
Really high ass consider pick.
Who'd you guys let go to get that pick? Because it had to have been a really
Uh,
good player.
Trying to remember who he. I can't remember the breakdown for it. Is there somewhere I can look at that?
It's fine. You guys also took a tackle in the 4th round, which your offensive line, from what I remember,
It's degraded.
is meh.
It used to be very good, but we let go of just about everybody that was notable on it. That was something I was very disappointed in.
I think that
over
was
the
the
years.
compensatory pick from when you guys let Brandon Scherf walk.
Makes sense. He is a very good guard. He did really good on the Jacksonville last year. I was very mad at that, but yeah, the line needs work, so I'm okay with them going. I believe, yeah, he is on injured reserve. 4th round pick tackle, Brendan Daniels. Haven't really seen much of him because he's on injured reserve currently.
Oh, that's
So
unfortunate.
I have to come back on that one. The guy, rookie Stromberg. I think he's played at guard and center, so because a lot of centers don't really translate to the NFL.
Yeah. I see you guys picked up KJ Henry, defensive end from Clemson, in the 5th round.
Yeah, I believe so. KJ Henry. I think that was he was opposite of the guy you guys took in the 1st round. I think a lot.
Miles Murphy. Yeah.
I guess depth. I don't really. I mean, it's a 5th round pick, so at the end of the day, I guess who cares?
At this
But
point,
I
it would
didn't.
be depth, because I think this is because they want to see Chase Young stay healthy for a season.
Yeah, and that's been honestly the biggest problem with Chase Young is he's been really good, but he hasn't been healthy. He can't stay healthy, and I guess they want depth at the position, and maybe even if KJ Henry ends, if any defensive end steps up above Chase Young, I think Chase Young doesn't, stay on the team. Unfortunately, as much as I'm a fan of him, it might not happen if he actually doesn't stay healthy, as
Yeah.
as is understandable, but.
I see that you in the 6th round, you guys got Chris Rodriguez Jr., running back from Kentucky. I'm assuming he's going to be behind Gibson and Robinson.
Yeah, this isn't. I don't. Like I said, it's the 6th round, so I guess at the end of the day, does it really? I guess.
At this point, you're going for.
Yeah, I
Depth.
mean, at this point, it's depth. I felt that we really didn't need another running back because
Not even really depth. You're grabbing whoever the best on the list is right now.
So they felt this guy was. I think he's made the team. So I think he's on the roster. So.
And in the
They
7th
wanted-
round, you guys went back to the defensive end and picked up Andre Jones from Louisiana Lafayette. So you guys double dipped on your secondary, your offensive line, and your defensive line.
Which kind of annoyed me because we did not address the linebackers at all, and our linebackers really aren't that good. I understand it's a 4-3 defense, but we really need to address that.
Did you guys pick up anybody in the offseason?
They didn't make a huge amount of. We took. I know we picked up right tackle Andrew Wiley from. I believe he was on the Chiefs.
Oh, that's a sneaky good signing for you guys. I'm really excited about that one.
That's pretty good. Wouldn't have that problem if we let go. If we didn't let Morgan Moses walk. A year or two ago. But that's neither here nor there. That was the remnants of the Dan Snyder era.
Yeah, which I'm excited that you guys got rid of him. Like, it's finally a new era in Washington.
Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals game that's sold out. So
it's sold out?
That's a sold out game, yeah.
What?
Yeah, people are coming. Like, you look at a picture of preseason from last year, and then or not preseason, training camp from last year and this year. It's a completely different. Like, everyone is actually coming out. People are actually, supporting the team. People are, excited for once. Even though, it's. I'm not gonna say we're looking incredible this year, but we're not looking terrible.
It's sort of a transition year for you guys.
Yeah, I mean. It wasn't like like I said, they didn't really. I think that was because I think the leadership changed. They had to organize some stuff, so they actually really were very inactive in free agency. Which, like I said, I'm not mad about. They really didn't. They really didn't have time probably with the leadership change.
Mm-hmm.
and I think they kept a lot more of the staff than I thought, which may change. They did say Ron Rivera needs to produce wins to stay, so
I mean, that makes sense.
he's had a few years coaching. We made the playoffs one time over him, albeit it was 7-9,
I
but
mean, you still made the playoffs.
still made the playoffs. And it counts for something. That division was the East was absolute trash that year. So
So, Joe, I know you weren't here for this, but I had the talking order set as I'll introduce a topic, then Dustin goes, then Ty goes, and then now since you're here, you'll go.
okay.
Um, so now I guess we can get to division and playoff predictions, which I guess we'll start with the AFC North, and we'll just go from there. So, Dustin, who do you have winning the AFC North?
Give me 1 second, because I can actually go to my FanDuel account and tell you who I have. I put money down on all of it this year.
Oh, serious!
Oh
I
yeah, there
see.
was one thing that the Washington did in the pre.
Oh man,
in the
come
offseason.
on, Dustin, you just got suspended, man.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
well,
you got
that's too bad. I
gambling
don't play for
suspension.
the NFL.
Washington did re-sign Jamison Crowder, who was on our team years ago. That was something I forgot that excited me.
I did see that. I think they put him on the
Yeah.
practice squad.
Yeah, but besides that, there wasn't really any other. There wasn't very many notable signings. It was basically Wiley and Jamison Crowder because it's only notable to me because I was a fan of the guy back in the day. So anyway, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So, AFC North, I've got the Bengals down as taking the division.
Okay. Who do you got as second, third, and fourth?
I actually didn't put down a second, third, and fourth because they didn't give you that option. But let's go with who I think it would be. I'd probably go Steelers and then Browns.
You have the Ravens finishing last?
I have Lamar Jackson probably getting injured in the first couple of weeks and then them going last.
Oh, I
Because what
see.
can they do if Lamar Jackson gets hurt?
Yeah, that is true.
He's getting
Facts.
older and hasn't changed his play style. And what happens with mobile quarterbacks when they don't change their play styles?
They get hurt. Oh, so act as I could see that honestly happening. Ty, what do you think happens in the AFC North?
Actually, I'm thinking the exact same. I'm thinking it's close between Bengals and Steelers, but Bengals definitely number 1, Steelers 2, Browns 3, Ravens 4th.
All right.
And I think that's even without Lamar getting injured.
Ooh, so you think the team's going to take a
wow.
step back?
I just don't think they're as good as the rest of the division.
It's a competitive division.
It really is. Joe, who do you have in the AFC?
I think I really don't see a world where the Bengals don't take this division. Knock on wood, I guess, for your sake. But I see the Bengals taking the division. Honestly, I might give the Browns second place because I think the Browns are sneaky good. This is totally not because I have Nick Chubb in one of my fantasy teams, but
My thing is, I think the Browns could also easily be the worst because they tend to shit the bed or do good. There is no in between with them.
Yeah. I can easily, I mean, I think number 1 is kind of set personally, but the rest of the division, I think for the wild card, that's really going to come down to how they do in the division. Like I said, I'll personally put the Browns second, Steelers third. I still think the Ravens probably take last in the division, honestly, because like Dustin said, Lamar Jackson has kind of shown he can't really stay healthy. He hasn't changed his play style, so. Unfortunately, as much as I like the guy, I am a fan of Lamar Jackson. I just don't see it. I don't see success.
For me personally, I do think we win the division, but I think it'll be by 1 game or less. I think the Steelers are going to give us a run for our money. I think they're going to be sneaky good this year. I love how they address their offseason. I love the moves that they've made. Unfortunately, happens to be in our division, but what can you do? Kenny Pickett gets another year under his belt in the system. He's still got George Pickens, who is a monster at receiver. And
Najee
they got a
Harris.
good running game. Their offensive line improved. Their defense is always going to be good. That's just how they are. And I do like their chances. I think the Steelers are a playoff team. So I'm gonna say, I still say we win the division and the Steelers make it in as a wild card team. I do not see the Browns or the Ravens making the playoffs. I will have the Browns third and the Ravens fourth. I guess I'll go ahead and move to the AFC South. I mean not Ty, Dustin.
I'm gonna make some enemies with this one. I've got Jacksonville taking the division.
Okay. They
I've
did
got
have
going.
a pretty good run last year.
Yeah, I think they're going to improve off what they did last year. I think they're going to take the division. I think the Titans are going to be second and get the wild card spot, and then it's going to be Colts Texans.
You have the Titans making the postseason. Interesting. It could happen. The Jags also did get Calvin Ridley as well, and he's looked really good from what I've been hearing.
I
So
mean, I wish we still had them, but being off 2 seasons, it kind of makes sense to get someone that you're paying for and letting play.
That's true. Ty,
Have
what do you think
have they
happens
gotten
in
rid
the
of the
South?
suspension?
Well, I got obviously the opposite happening. Titans are winning this division. I think Jacksonville is second and is probably going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I think it's Colts third, Texans last.
Okay.
But
I'm worried
all the
about your
teams,
team's health.
I
I'm
think
really
all. I mean, that's always going to be a concern. We're a lot younger than we were last year. We got rid of a lot of our older guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I look at it is I think I think all the teams have improved this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've improved pretty evenly, and Jacksonville struggled against our second and third stringers at the end of the year in the last game. They
Right.
struggled. So we have to go with, like I said before, we have to go with everybody's, assuming everybody stays healthy and we're not back to fucking third stringers again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close.
All right.
I think it's competitive, but I don't think it's close.
What about you, Joe?
I personally, I agree with Dustin. Kind of, I personally see the Jags taking the division. I think just coming out the gate on paper, I think they have the most solid team. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Titans are second. They get second. I think they go now it'd be what 9-8.
Yeah.
I think they can make the playoffs as a wild card team. I don't think they're just not gonna make the playoffs. I think it's very possible they can.
It's so sad we can't go 9-7 anymore.
Also,
Yeah,
in the
no.
AFC, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah, I think I think they can make the playoffs. They've done it on the back of Derrick Henry before. They can do it again. I don't think it's impossible. And then the the two Texans and Colts, probably Colts third, Texans fourth, because the Texans just frankly suck.
Oh, the Texans have made some improvements. I think
I
they
have
made more
hope for
improvements than the
Richardson.
Colts have.
I honestly am a fan of Anthony Richardson, so I kind of hope he does well. I don't really. He doesn't really have good chances. It's not like Colts exactly have crazy good. But I don't think they have bums either. So don't think they make the playoffs. I think they have a decent year they can build off of though. Maybe get some starting time.
Yeah. I think
And
an underrated part of how teams are going to do this year is the strength of schedule. From
yeah,
what I'm seeing here, the Eagles have the toughest strength of schedule this year, which I think they'll be just fine.
unfortunately,
Actually, the entire NFC East has a tough schedule. The Commanders, I think, have the eighth toughest schedule, mainly because they finished last in the division last year. It would seem like the NFC South has the easiest time with their schedule. The Falcons apparently have the easiest. Then the Saints, Texans, Colts, Titans. Oh, the AFC South has it easy too. So Ty, it may actually benefit you that you have an easy schedule.
well, it
I
always
mean,
does. They started out the gate kind of tough with the Chargers and the Bengals, but then they got the Ravens, which I think is a very winnable game.
Mhm.
Steelers winnable, Jags can be winnable. Colts, I mean the fact that you got the Colts, you got 4 games, Colts, Texans, those should be wins.
And
Should
those are
be.
division games. That is never a should.
I suppose, but I mean, you like
The
should you really
division
be losing to
game-
the Texans? But
And
Well,
the
you got
thing-
to remember, division games and Titans have a bad habit of playing down to opponents.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah, that's
The
why I
other
said
thing
should.
with the Ravens and Steelers, both of them are also kind of like division games because they're rival games.
The Steelers, I know they also play down to competition, but I think they have more talent than the Titans do, so they can get away with it.
Yeah, I think they have a more talented roster. That's why I said should. In a perfect world, those should be wins, but you know.
Difference of opinion.
Yeah. All right, so we got the South done. AFC East. Dustin, who you got?
So, I'm going to buy the hype train.
Oh,
Jets taking the East.
the Jets win the East. That hasn't happened in a while.
Aaron Rodgers.
Jets taking the East. Then it's probably going to, I'm thinking it's going to be Dolphins, Bills, Patriots.
You have the Bills finishing third. Interesting.
Yeah.
The
Wide open
Dolphins
division.
have had the most improvement among years. Maybe not getting better players on roster, but players currently on roster developing.
Oh, yeah. Ever since Mike McDaniel got there, they've really been doing good. And Tua, if he can stay healthy, I think that team's going to be really
Tyreek down there somewhere.
Yep, Tyreek is down there somewhere. So you have the Patriots finishing last.
Yes.
I don't think they can keep up with any of the other teams there.
No.
Their defense,
They
I
just
think, is
they
still
don't
going to
have
be
the
good.
power for it. Yeah, the defense will give people running, but they really don't have the offensive power for it.
They don't. Even if Bill O'Brien came back to be their offensive coordinator, I don't think it'll be enough.
Mac Jones just is not Tom Brady.
Well, no. And
That is very apparent.
it's kind of unfortunate for him because those are the shoes that he's had to fill.
Yes, it is.
All right, Ty, who do you think takes the East?
All right, who do I think takes the East? Well, it's the Jets. It's the Bills. It's the Bills.
It's the
taking-
Bills. It is the Bills' division to lose.
Yeah. But I think it's Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
That makes sense. That's something that's very feasible. Joe, what about you?
This is a hard one, really. Because, I mean, like, 3 of the 4 teams honestly have a. I suppose maybe if the Jets end up doing poorly, I'll be looking back like an idiot here, thinking they had a chance, I guess. But,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go safe. I'll do the safe pick, I guess. I'll go the Bills win it, and then Dolphins second, Jets third, Patriots fourth. We'll go safe, I guess here.
It's kind of sad that for all of us, like the top 3 in that division is interchangeable. You can make an argument for it, but the Patriots are definitely dead last.
Yeah.
The big issue here is the Jets are the Jets. Like, the
Yeah.
Jets just cannot handle success. They've never handled success.
I want them to do well.
On paper, they have the best offseason that any team's had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's got to equate to wins.
The problem,
Yes,
it has to equate to. They also have to do well because I guarantee you, like if they do bad, Aaron Rodgers will just say "fuck this," retire, no skin off his teeth. But the Jets are now fucked. Like, I mean,
My biggest
that's
concern with
something-
the Jets is their offensive line because they don't have a lot of good depth there.
no, I mean, but like Dustin said, on paper that team is really good, and I want them to do well. That's a team I'd be fine with being, them be successful.
Do you remember one of the last teams we said was supposed to be really good on paper and a potential Super Bowl contender? A few years ago, it was the Browns. I don't even think they made the playoffs that year.
Yeah, they had that one decent run where I think they beat the Steelers. That was funny how butthurt the Steelers were about
I love that.
Yeah, that was really funny.
All right, so from that, AFC West, Dustin, who you got? Is it the Chiefs?
Is that even a question?
I think I know the answer, but I wanted to ask to be sure.
Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. Raiders and Chargers pulling the other 2 wild cards.
Chargers third.
You have the Raiders finishing second.
Yes.
A lot of confidence in them.
Okay, I could see that.
That team just it feels good. It looks good. Watching them in the preseason, they played well together.
Okay. We just need to see it go well in the regular season as well.
Yes, that is the issue. That being said, though, the Chiefs did lose to the Lions Thursday, and that was just absolutely wonderful.
That was amazing.
That shit
well, I
was
mean,
great.
they're gonna come up with the excuses. We didn't have Travis Kelce. We didn't have Chris Jones. You still lost.
Yes,
you're
still bums.
Yeah, your offensive lineman also held a defensive end that wasn't even going to come close to second Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter after completing a 20-yard pass. But
Yeah.
stuff
Your-
happens.
Your tackle was also, way off the line and false starting all game and
Mhm.
not getting called on it most of the game.
Oh right, Ty. How do you think the West shakes out?
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Denver.
I can see that happening. Joe, what about you?
I mean, Chiefs. I think Chiefs take it, even though it's funny they are at the bottom of the division right now because they have a loss. The other teams have not played, but
Patrick Mahomes, worst QB currently.
fucking trash, man. Only put up 20 points. Garbage.
Threw a pick six.
Fucking to a rookie. Trash. But Raiders and Chargers. I mean, the thing. I guess the bottom line with the Chargers is Chargers gonna Charger. Like
Yeah. The AFC's
I look-
Falcons.
I feel like for the better half of a decade, I've looked at that roster and said, "Man, this is a really good ass roster." How'd they do last year? Oh no, never mind. So like, at the end of the day, Chargers gonna Charger, but I guess I'll still put Chargers second, Raiders third, Broncos last. I think the Raiders it'll be closer than people think. Maybe they even take second. I don't. I think it's. I find it hard to believe that they'll take anyone besides the Chiefs will take first, but I'd welcome that.
You know what I just realized? I forgot to do my division predictions as we've been going.
I was about to say.
I did the North. I'm just gonna quickly run through this. So the South, I got the Jags winning the division unless somebody else proves me otherwise. Titans second, Texans third, Colts last. I just think the Colts are in a rebuild right now. They really need to develop that roster more. The
Fair.
East, I have the Bills winning it, for consistency. I've got the Jets second, the Dolphins third, and the Patriots last. And for the West, I've got the Chiefs winning it with the Chargers in second, Raiders in third, Broncos in fourth. All right, so now that we're all caught up and I'm not forgetting anything, NFC North. Who you got, Dustin?
The NFC North is, and give me a second because they logged me out of my FanDuel.
Oh,
Got 'em.
hate it when it does that.
Out the game.
So NFC North, they did bad last year, but they can develop real well. I got the Bears taking the division.
Chicago.
The
They did make a
Bears.
lot of moves in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears.
And then I think it will be Vikings, Lions, Packers. I think this year's the year for the Packers to lose.
Oh, so you have the Lions finishing third.
I have Lions in third. Vikings are they've got too much on their roster right now.
Also, Joe, I see you playing Madden 24.
If the Vikings do any worse than second, then it's because the Vikings decided not to win. It's not because they're the worst team.
So the Vikings vikinged.
Well,
Yes.
their defense is not very good. They didn't make a lot of improvements from what I
It's
saw.
really weird to say from the Vikings, honestly.
It is.
So for a few years ago, that was a really good defense.
That was.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think anyone in the North pulls the wild card.
Okay.
I would probably say not.
Ty, who you got?
Okay. So Thursday, this would have been different before Thursday. Because before Thursday, I would have said Bears.
Mm-hmm.
But after seeing the Lions on Thursday, I think it's Lions. Because it was close. It was going to be close for me. It was going to be either Bears or Lions in first.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one in second.
The Lions didn't even play all that well, and they still won.
Yeah. I mean, it was week one. There's really not going to be a whole lot of good play happening.
Mm-hmm. So you have the Lions in first, Bears in second.
Lions first, Bears second, Vikings third, Packers last.
Ooh. So the Jordan Love experiment may not work out.
No faith right now.
Joe, what about you?
So It's really close for me. Honestly, I'm just gonna buy into the hype, mostly because this is the team I want to win. I want the Lions. I want the Lions to take the division. I'll just say that. That's bias there. I want them to take it.
Yeah.
That's a team honestly I'm kind of rooting for this year. Second place. That's hard. I can easily see it shaking up different, but we'll go Bears. Let's say I think Justin Fields is honestly kind of, to me, like broken the Ohio State mode. Justin did point out that he started at Georgia, so he was not indoctrinated into the Ohio State system right off the bat. But I think that it goes Lions, Bears, Vikings, and then Packers. Like I don't really see anyone but the Lions making the playoffs in this division. And I really have no faith in the Packers. Probably really.
That's understandable.
So,
for me in the North, I say the Lions take this division. I do think it'll be a little closer than some people think. I have the Vikings finishing second because the Vikings still have a very good offense. Like, there's no question about that. Justin Jefferson, I think, is the best receiver in the league right now. And Kirk Cousins thrown him the ball, and Jefferson's been good. Mostly because of Cousins. Cousins has been getting them the ball. I do like their offensive line. The receiving core is pretty good. They did let go of Dalvin Cook, but I think they'll be fine with Alexander Madison. Their defense is what I'm concerned with. I don't think they'll be able to stop anybody. I think they'll be like the Lions defense from last year. I say the Bears finish third and the Packers finish last. I love the pieces that the Bears have added, but I think it's more of a transition / rebuild year for them. But I think they'll be significantly more talented than Green Bay will. So with that, I guess we'll move to the NFC South. Dustin, who you got?
Y'all can call it bias, whatever you want. I think the Falcons have this division.
I could see that.
No bias.
I think the only team that can challenge them right now is the Saints.
Yeah.
And the Saints have too many questions on offense.
They did get Derek Carr after the Jameis experiment did not go well.
They did get Carr, but they're starting halfbacks out for a while.
That is because Alvin Kamara decided to be an idiot.
Yep.
It's actually only 3 weeks.
I think it's 4.
3 weeks is a big deal, though. That's when you're the offensive weapon.
That's all I mean.
3 weeks is a big deal.
All right, so you got the Saints finishing second, I guess.
Yeah, Saints second. The Bucks and Panthers are fighting for last. The Bucks will still have one of the top defenses out there, but other than Mike Evans, who do they have for offense right now?
They have Chris Godwin.
Other than Mike Evans, who do they have for offense right now?
No hesitation.
It kind of sucks what happened with Ryan Jensen in the offseason. Pretty much being forced into retirement because of some procedure that went wrong. Which, it is what it is. Ty, how do you have the South shaken out?
Mine's only slightly different. I think right now Saints are ahead for me, then Falcons, and then Bucks, Panthers. Okay. I think the Panthers can do really good. They have names, but we don't know how those names are going to work in that team.
Right. Joe, what about you?
Honestly, it's really close between the Saints and the Falcons. Honestly, I feel like the Falcons played a lot better than people gave them credit for with not a lot of people last year. Like, I really felt that they played better than they were given credit for. I'll give them the division. Saints second, Bucks third, Panthers last.
Okay. For me personally,
I think
it's... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, the Alvin Kamara thing is a big deal to me. That could very easily just turn into 3 losses. I mean...
And we don't know if Michael Thomas is going to play the whole year.
Yeah, we don't even know if Michael Thomas is going to play, let alone be, good like he was before. It just seems like too much to me is going wrong with the Saints.
I think for me, with the NFC South, I will say the Falcons win. The only thing that concerns me is the Falcons' ability to blow leads in spectacular fashion. Dustin, I'm sorry I have to bring it up, but it's a thing that keeps happening. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I feel like they've gotten better at that. To be
It's
honest,
a thing that
personally.
didn't really happen at all last year, except for one game. But apparently, it keeps happening.
I just had to point it out. I'm sorry. But I do trust them more than I trust the Saints, though. I do not like the Saints coach. He was the coach with the Raiders, if you guys don't remember, Dennis Allen, and he was fired, I think, after 2 really bad losing seasons. Their defense, I think, should be good as long as they're healthy. But yeah, the Saints finishing second. I got the Panthers finishing third and the Bucks last. I don't like Todd Bowles as a head coach. He's a really good defensive coordinator, but as a coach, I just think the Bucks could do a lot better. And plus, Baker Mayfield's still fighting for a starting job, so this is technically his last chance. I just do not see the Bucks having any sort of success. But that's me. I could see them winning like anywhere between 4 to 6 games.
And you say this is Mayfield's last chance, but every team he's gone to, it's been his last chance. So he
Yes.
somehow wiggles his way into a starting job everywhere he goes.
He was a former #1 pick, and he has talent. I don't agree with how Cleveland handled the situation with Mayfield.
Cleveland
Nah.
mishandling a
Not one
situation.
bit.
But with that out of the way, you guys know what time it is.
We still
I
have
do believe.
we,
Yeah,
we,
we still have.
Divisions there, buddy.
we have 2 more divisions.
Yeah.
I thought I could
Damn.
get you guys. You're too
Forgetting
sharp
my
for me.
division.
All right. Yeah, I got you guys. I was testing you.
You totally.
All right.
Yep,
The
yep,
NFC
yep.
East. Dustin, who you got?
Honestly, if anyone says anything other than the Eagles here, they're retarded. I'm sorry. There's
Only retard now.
no competition right now.
Mm-hmm.
The only
True.
competition I think in this division will be between the Commanders and Cowboys for second, because for some reason, the Cowboys can just never put the commies down.
No faith in the Giants, I see.
No, no.
Nope.
Hey, I mean, they beat the Vikings last year in the playoffs.
Oh,
It-
Kirk
it-
Cousins doing his old Kirk Cousin things against the Giants. That man could never beat the Giants, dude.
I think it's going to be a solid fight between the Cowboys and the Commanders for second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with who I always want to go. I'll say the Commanders take second.
Oh, you think?
And get the first wild card spot for the NFC.
Oh, yeah, that very well could happen. You remember they have Sam Howell now, and Eric Bieniemy's their offensive caller. Which the offense has looked a lot different with the Commanders in the preseason, and I kind of like it.
And honestly, the Giants taking third also might take a wild card spot.
Maybe they did
Hey.
improve in the offseason. They didn't have a
Wait.
lot to work with last year.
You got the Giants taking third, not Cowboys.
I'm sorry, Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboys taking third and getting the second wild card.
Fair enough.
Giants sitting down in fourth, being the only team in the East not to go to the playoffs.
I'm gonna go ahead and say mine's no different. Mine's the exact same.
All right, Joe, what about you?
Commanders take division. No, I'm just, I love to say that, but it's too hard to deny the Eagles, even though we did beat them one time last year. But anyway,
The only person who can't confidently say his team's taking the division.
Aww.
I mean, yeah, we had the Super Bowl runner-up in our division. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say about that one, but like I said, I will say we did beat the Eagles last year.
All I'm gonna say is the Rams were Super Bowl champions one year, and the next year they were
Not even in the playoffs.
garbage.
That's what you get when you try to buy a Super Bowl.
Don't give me hope, Ty. Don't give me hope on that one.
I'm just trying to help you, man.
Don't give me hope, man. Don't give me hope on that. I can't have that hope. What?
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, Eagles take the division. Yeah, you better record that. That's the only time I'm saying it. But Washington second. I think the Cowboys always manage to worm their way into the playoffs with no matter how fucking stupid they play. So we'll take third. They'd probably take a wild card. Giants. I don't think the Giants do extremely terrible, but I don't think they make the playoffs.
That's fair. The NFC is pretty weak compared to the AFC, especially.
Yeah, right now there's a lot of NFC teams that are not quite as a lot of NFC divisions are not quite as competitive.
For me, I still have the Eagles winning the division. I think they're going to be good for a long time with the way that team is built and the way that team is run.
You mean the Philadelphia Bulldogs?
Yeah, you can say that,
Yep,
but they
yep.
are good and they're consistently good.
And I got no issues with it. I'm a Georgia fan.
I know. So I got the Eagles winning the division. I'm actually gonna have the Cowboys taking second, just because.
You sure?
Just because Dallas, they do well in the regular season, but they choke in the playoffs. That's their thing. So unless something changes, I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna say the Commanders finish third. I don't know if they will take a playoff spot or not. They might, but I had the Giants taking a little bit of a step back. And I have the Giants finishing last. But I do think the Commanders' offense has been the main issue these past few seasons, besides their secondary, and I think they've greatly improved that this offseason.
I mean, we all know the Cowboys got to go on to lose to the 49ers in the playoffs.
They do. They got to fulfill that quota.
It is an appointment, isn't it?
Also, can we talk about the fact that Zeke's last snap for the Cowboys was him getting run over at center, and then now everybody's forgotten about it?
And nobody, we haven't forgotten about it. We're just giving him a break for now.
He's on the Patriots now.
We're just waiting for it to happen on the Patriots so we can make fun of him there.
No, what if he gets stiff armed by Chandler Jones in the game?
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I guess that brings us to the NFC West. Dustin, who you got?
Well, another one. If anyone says anything other than the 49ers, they're wrong.
Okay.
There's no one that can compete with the 49ers in that division right now.
Yeah.
See, there's other than the Eagles, there's probably not really anyone in the conference that can compete with the 49ers.
Yeah, the NFC is very top heavy.
Other than that, I think second and third's difficult for me between Rams and Seahawks.
I don't really see the Rams being that good.
I think it'll be the Seahawks, though. Yeah, but the Seahawks have Geno Smith. Geno Smith tends to do one good season at quarterback and then plays bad at quarterback everywhere he goes.
Fair enough.
But I think the Seahawks will take the second in the division and the last wild card spot, and then it'll be Rams Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are
And the Cardinals are starting Josh Dobbs at quarterback right now. So I mean, Cardinals are going to be last.
Ty, what about you?
Pretty much the same. Niners, Seahawks, Rams, Tank.
Tank. They don't even get the name. Joe, what about you?
Niners win. It's between the Rams and the Seahawks. I guess they're kind of interchangeable. We'll just go Rams, I guess, for second, Seahawks third, Cardinals last.
My division prediction is the exact same as Dustin and Ty's. The 49ers easily have the most talented roster in that division. There's no question.
They just need to get a ring off of it.
The Seahawks, they do have talent, but it's not nearly enough as the 49ers, but they're significantly better than the Rams and Seahawks are. The Rams, I still think, will do badly, and this might be Sean McVay's last year as the head coach of the Rams. And the Cardinals, they're obviously throwing the season already. I mean, with the moves that they made, you can't tell me that they're not throwing the season. It will be so funny if Caleb Williams decides to stay at USC another year when the Cardinals had the first pick. I will laugh hard.
That would be pretty funny.
I guess with that out of the way, now we know what time it is.
And now we get to make ourselves look like a bunch of idiots.
Almost got you guys last time.
Totally.
I think that the fact that we caught your little trick means we should get out of having to do it.
You're getting an automatic 0, Dustin.
We all get a full 5.
No. So, with those that don't know, and as a refresher to you guys, the way this works is I'm going to ask you 5 questions. The person who gets the most questions right win. In the event of a tie, the lowest time will win, which I have a stopwatch on my phone that I'm going to go ahead and casually pull up right now. And I'm also going to have some theme music playing in the background on my end. I guess since we're going in the rotation, Dustin will go first. Ty and Joe, you guys will both mute. I mean, deafen, not mute.
All right. Let me do that.
Man
All
doesn't
right,
even.
now let's pull up Google.
No, do not pull up Google. Let me get the. Oh, I forgot I closed the Word document. Hang on.
For those of y'all that don't know, because I don't think you said it, this is NFL trivia.
Yeah.
in which the only trivia master for NFL is currently the host, so we all will suck.
All right, Dustin, are you ready?
No.
All right, I will. I love how you just immediately say that. So the timer is gonna start as soon as I read the first question. All right.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play the music. All right. So first question is. Which two teams have gone 0-4 in the Super Bowl?
Which two teams?
Yes.
Falcons
Uh-huh.
and Bengals.
All right. Who were the two starting quarterbacks in both of the Ravens Super Bowl wins?
Joe Flacco.
Oh, is that your only answer?
And Mystery Elite. I don't know.
Okay.
Joe Flacco will be my only answer.
Okay. So, who was the most recent NFL MVP?
Patrick Mahomes.
All right. In what year did the Lions last win the division?
They've won a division.
Yes.
2002.
And which team from last year had the longest losing streak with 10 games?
Titans.
All right. Timer stopped. We can tell the others to undeafen. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and record
It
Dustin's
should be
time
Ty
down.
next, right?
It should be, yeah, it'll be Ty next, and then it'll be you, Joe.
He's
Alright, I'm gonna
me.
All right. I'll go ahead and deafen, even though my answers are locked in.
Okay.
Fuck you, Ty.
Okay.
All right, Ty, are you ready?
No, but let's go.
No, but let's go. Okay, let me let me start the music over again. Timer will start after I read the first question.
All right.
So, which two teams have gone 0-4 in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
You can pass and come back to it if you want.
Bengals, Falcons.
All right, who were the two starting quarterbacks in both of the Ravens Super Bowl wins?
Joe Flacco, and I don't know the other one.
All right, who was the most recent NFL MVP?
I think it was Mahomes.
All right, in what year did the Lions last win the division?
Holy crap! They won the division.
Yes.
Oh 03.
All right, what team from last year had the longest losing streak with 10 games?
Titans.
All right, timer stopped. We can tell the others
That was-
to undeafen.
That was 6, not 10. But it was fast though. I was quick. I was wrong, but I was quick.
All right.
All right, let
You
me
mean-
go ahead and get Ty's time down.
Good luck.
All right, Joe, it's your turn.
Okay.
All right, Joe, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, that's the enthusiasm I like to hear. Okay, so the timer's gonna start as soon as I'm done reading the first question. Okay.
All right.
So, which two teams have gone 0-4 in the Super Bowl?
Bills and Vikings.
All right, who were the two starting quarterbacks in both of the Ravens Super Bowl wins?
Both. Oh, Trent Dilfer for 2000. Joe Flacco. What was it? 2012 or 2013.
All right, who was the most recent NFL MVP?
Patrick Mahomes.
In what year did the Lions last win the division?
2014. Well, we'll do 2014. I honestly don't know that.
Which team from last year had the longest losing streak with 10 games?
Yours, I guess. I don't know though. I don't know.
All right, that is time. And we can tell them to undeafen.
All right there.
Dustin,
Dustin!
Ponytail,
Dustin,
I choose you.
unmute. Hey, Dustin, unmute.
Instead of yelling across the room, you could just step out of the hall.
No, fuck that.
All right. So we're gonna go over these answers real quick. So the first question was, which two teams have gone 0-4 in the Super Bowls? Dustin said Atlanta and Cincinnati. Ty said Atlanta and Cincinnati. Joe said the Bills and the Vikings. Joe is correct.
Huh.
That's gonna be that's
Boy,
a
I
point.
love
That's a
losing
point for
Super
Joe.
Bowls.
Let's see. DJT 1. Second question was, who were the two starting quarterbacks in both of the Ravens Super Bowl wins? Dustin said Flacco and Mystery Elite as his answers.
Oh, mystery.
Ty said Joe Flacco and I don't know the name of the other one. And Joe said Joe Flacco and Trent Dilfer. Joe is correct again.
God damn, Joe. Why are you making us look bad?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to actually know the NFL trivia.
Well, that's a team that I actually used to follow, so.
All right, number 3. Who was the most recent NFL MVP? Everybody gets a point there because they all said Mahomes.
Mahomie.
Like, I mean,
It's a good guess.
that really that? I feel like that was just a gimme.
It kind of was a gimme. I had to give you guys something. I didn't want to make you look completely terrible.
Thanks, man.
You're too
No,
nice.
Joe's doing that good enough for us.
Apparently.
All right, so number 4. In what year did the Lions last win the division? Dustin said 2002, Ty said 2003, and Joe said 2014.
No.
Oh, what?
You give them the correct thing. I said the Lions won a division.
Yeah,
I said that too.
Ty said that too. So everybody was wrong. The correct answer was 1993.
God, boy.
God, what? I wasn't even alive.
Neither was I.
Neither was I.
Um,
What the fuck? God.
We gave him more credit than they do.
They ever fucking deserve.
All right, final question was, what team from last year had the longest losing streak with 10 games? Dustin said Tennessee, Ty said Tennessee, Joe said Chicago. It was Chicago. They lost 10 straight games to end the
Yeah.
season.
I
Tennessee
knew there was
actually
two
lost 7.
teams. I knew there was two teams with long losing streaks, but Tennessee was the only one I could think of.
They had 7. Chicago had 10. But
Well-
Joe is our trivia winner. He had 3.
Yay.
Joe, you're not allowed to participate in trivia anymore.
Fuck you.
It's a tradition that we sit here and laugh at how stupid we are during trivia.
Me no trivia.
All right. Joe also had the lowest time too. Joe was
Ha ha.
Joe had not even 45 seconds. Ty had almost a minute. Dustin had over a minute. But yeah, that was pretty good. Thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I had a good time.
All right, so from that, I guess we can move on to the recap of everything that's happened so far. The Detroit Lions went into Kansas City and defeated the Chiefs 21-20.
Yeah.
I think everybody outside of Chiefs Kingdom was pretty happy with that, including ourselves.
Hell yeah. I'm okay going 0-1 in predictions.
I looked at the highlights of the game, and something that really surprised me is the Lions went for a fake punt on 4th and 2 and converted it.
Bigger balls than all of us.
The Lions had a game plan, and they stuck to it, and they won. They knew they were playing the reigning Super Bowl champs. They were going to be aggressive, and they were aggressive. And it worked out for them.
I mean, it was a really fun game to watch just on its own.
It was.
That's a good game.
Definitely. Jared Goff, although he didn't have the best of numbers, he was efficient in that offense. Like, he's not the best quarterback in the league, but you can definitely do worse.
Yeah, he did more than they actually needed him to do.
I think Jared Goff is going to be their guy for a while
He
from the way
he
he's been
made some
playing.
plays.
He did. I'm really happy to see him bounce back after he got traded to Detroit.
Yeah,
But also the impact that Dan Campbell has had on the Lions can't be, looked over.
it's all that caffeine.
Dan the
It's all
man.
caffeine. He makes people want to play for Detroit, which nobody's been able to do before.
Nobody's been able to do
Right.
that.
Not
Nobody's
since
been able to do that
1993.
shit. That was when Barry Sanders was still on the fucking team. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Barry Sanders. But I guess let's go ahead and look towards next week. So we've got a really good matchup of
Not,
week 1 games.
not next week. It's tomorrow and Monday.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Tomorrow and Monday.
Got him.
So I guess we can go ahead and do our predictions here as well.
Sure.
We'll have to get those written down too somewhere.
I've got it. I've got an Excel sheet up.
Get in here,
Okay.
Ponyta.
So we have a total of 8 division games in the first week alone. So the first game we're going to
Absolutely
talk
love
about is the Bengals travel to Cleveland to face the Browns. Cincinnati's favored to win by 2 points. Dustin, who do you got?
You're not going to like me.
Browns?
I got the Browns taking this one.
They could very well do it. I could see that.
The Browns start out hot usually. I feel they're going to start out hot this season and then fall off.
We have had our issues with them before. I think up until last year, they've swept us ever since Zach Taylor got there.
Which
Alright.
also, I have a dollar down on a 16-game parlay, so I
Oh,
also
that doesn't have anything to
money
do
on
with it.
all of this.
Ty, who do you got?
I think it's going to be the Bengals, but it could go either way. It's going to be very close.
It's a division game. It could go either way.
It's a division game. It's week 1. It's going to be sloppy and messy.
Joe, who you got?
Bengals probably, but it could go either way. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns win this, but I think just on paper the Bengals can win this.
Mm-hmm. So I'm totally not gonna be biased, right? I'm gonna say the Bengals win, but I think it's gonna be probably at max a touchdown game. I think it's gonna be more towards 3 points.
I think it's going to be like 24-21.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, honestly. Last second field goal by us, I'll be happy with that. So let's see, Cincinnati. And then we'll get Nick's predictions later on. Our good comedic relief pal. Alright, next game we got is the Texans travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens are favored to win by 9.5. Who you got, Dustin?
Ravens.
Ravens. Does anybody here not have the Ravens?
Who are they playing again?
The Texans.
Texans. It's the Ravens.
Ravens.
It's the Ravens. Until Texans
I
can show us
honestly
how
wouldn't
that they
be
can play
surprised.
better.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans went 0 and whatever this year.
17.
Just to be
17.
straight honest.
The Texans have made some improvements, though, which
I
I do
know.
like.
Yeah, they're still the Texans.
They are still the
Yeah, no.
Texans.
Fuck the Texans.
Got him.
Got him!
The only game I see them realistically winning is the Titans being really freaking stupid for some reason, like they seem to do at least once or twice every year.
Yeah.
The Titans do seem to do that. Even when the Texans won 3 games last year, the Titans were one of their wins. Which I'm sorry I had to bring that up, Ty, but I have to point out the facts.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I
All right,
won't talk
next,
about
My man.
next up, the Panthers with Bryce Young travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons are currently favored by 3.5. Who you got, Dustin?
Atlanta.
Atlanta? That's reasonable.
Yeah, I don't see the Panthers doing really anything this year.
You think it's going to be more of a build 'em up sort of year?
Yeah, I think that's what this. I think this year's the middle of the rebuild, and the end of the year will be the finish of it at the draft.
Fair enough. Who you got, Ty?
My gut is saying the Panthers.
Alright.
I think with it being week 1, I think it's going to take a little bit before the Falcons finally get in their groove and settle in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Panthers are just going to take week 1 first. I don't know why. I really don't have a good reason other than my gut just tells me it's Panthers.
It's also a division game. You can really never predict those. Joe, who you got?
Sorry, Dustin.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're starting a rookie. Panthers are starting a rookie quarterback. I kind of am going towards the Falcons here.
I mean, the Falcons. I mean, he's not technically a rookie, but he hasn't had much playing time.
He's basically a rookie.
But he's at
He's
home.
got a few starts under his belt, but yeah, I mean,
I am also going to pick Atlanta. I trust them a little more than I do the Panthers right now, but I still think it'll be a close game. Next one, we've got the 49ers. They travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Who you got, Dustin?
I think this is going to be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to come down to a big play. Who's got the better big play potential with a walk-off touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the 49ers.
All right. Ty?
49ers. I don't think it's going to be as close of a game because I think this is going to be the Niners defense ganging up on a still new quarterback.
All right. What about you, Joe?
who are the Niners playing?
The Steelers.
Steelers.
I'll probably say the Niners on this one.
Yeah, they do have a really stacked team. It's kind of hard to pick against them. Honestly.
Now we could all be wrong, and the things that happened at the end of last year just are only the end of last year for the Niners.
That's true. I'm actually going to be bold and say the Steelers take week 1. Like I said, I do like what the Steelers have done in the offseason, and as much as I love the Niners defense, I question their secondary a little bit. And I feel like the Steelers do have playmakers on offense. I think they barely squeak out a win, like a 1-point or a 3-point win. But I do think it'll probably be a dogfight, if anything.
It's going to be physical as fuck.
Oh, the Steelers and Niners always play physical, no matter who they're facing. Let's see. Next, we have the Cardinals taking on the Commanders. Washington's favored to win by a touchdown. Who you got, Dustin?
Tommies. Josh Dobbs starting at quarterback. I mean, come on.
That is also mine.
I also have the Commanders winning. I do not have faith in the Cardinals whatsoever.
I fucking hope so.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring, close game, but not close as in the teams are close. I think the Commanders will be solidly winning the game. Just not many points scored.
That's fair. It may take the offense a little bit to get going. Next we have Tampa Bay travels to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Vikings are favored to win by 5. Who you got, Dustin?
Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. I think the Tampa Bay defense gives it to them. I think
Tampa. Okay. What about you, Ty?
This is honestly just a toss-up here, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the same. I think it's Bucks over Vikings.
Joe?
The defense for the Bucks is the deciding factor for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm personally gonna go Vikings as well.
I'm also gonna go with Minnesota. The matchup I'm looking forward to in this game is the Bucks offense versus Minnesota's defense. Supposedly the two weakest spots on their respective teams. I mean, because the Bucks defense is good, Minnesota's offense is good, but everybody's going to be looking for that matchup. They want to see Justin Jefferson do the gritty and score touchdowns. But I want to see the other side of both teams because that's really going to determine who wins that game. And hopefully Minnesota's kicker doesn't shank any field goals.
It's going to be strength on strength, and I think the Bucks' strength is better than Minnesota's strength. I don't think Justin Jefferson's going to be doing that many gritties in the end zone.
That very well could happen, but we will have to wait and see. All right, next we got the Jags travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Who you got, Dustin?
Jags.
Jags? Do you think it's going to be close?
Yeah. Not. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, but it's going to be the Jags and a controlled game.
The Jags are favored to win by 4.5.
I think it's going to be like a 7-point game.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that. Who you got, Ty?
I think it's Jags too, but I think the difference is going to come down to the fact that the Colts don't have Taylor for the first 4 games.
He may not even play at all this season with the way they've been treating him.
If he doesn't play at all, then he has a very low chance of going to another team next year.
I suppose
Yeah.
so. What about
That's
you,
what
Joe?
they said about
I'll say
Bill.
Jags as well.
Okay. What were you gonna say something about Le'Veon Bell?
I was saying that's what they said about Bell as well, for him not playing and not having a good chance to go into a team. But he got signed 2 weeks after leaving.
Yeah, he
And
did.
he played like shit, which is going to keep teams from doing that mistake again, probably.
But he still got paid.
Yes, he did, and it turned out to be a
Teams are
mistake.
very bad at learning history.
Yeah,
And to be fair, it was also the Jets.
it was the Jets. Next we got Tennessee travels down to the Bayou to face the Saints. Who you got, Dustin?
They shouldn't. My gut's telling me this. This is a pure gut, so I'm sorry, Ty. Saints.
Okay.
Now, everybody's saying the Saints are going to win, but I don't see it. It's the Titans.
Okay.
Titans should win it. Titans have the team, but when I say this is a bet that I made 3 days ago. So
What about you,
this
Joe?
is
It's
straight gut.
It's the same thing I said about the Atlanta game. It's my gut that's making me go against them, and that's the
Mhm.
only thing.
Mm-hmm. Joe?
Oh, it's really close to me. I'll give it to the Titans, I think, here.
The Saints are favored to win by 3 points, by the way.
Okay. I personally see the Saints not really doing incredible the first few weeks. I think the Titans win this.
I mean, it's no Alvin Kamara as well.
Yeah.
My
Next,
exact.
next up, we got the Raiders travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. The Broncos are favored to win by 3.5, but the Raiders have won the last 6 of 7 meetings against them, I think. So that's going to be a key factor in determining who wins that. Who you got, Dustin?
I don't think that's a key factor in determining who wins because Mahomes hasn't lost a single game opener at home until this season.
Yeah.
But I got Broncos.
Ty?
Until Russ plays far better than he did last year, I got to go Raiders.
Joe?
Same. Raiders.
I also have the Raiders winning just because of their track record against the Broncos as of late. So that's what I'm going off of.
Broncos country, let's ride.
This might be a good one.
Broncos country, let's cry.
Miami travels to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. So it'll be Tua against Herbert. Who you got, Dustin?
Miami versus Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going Miami on that one.
Yeah, the second teams I'm always listing are the ones that are at home, by the way. What about you, Ty?
Chargers home game?
Chargers home game. So basically Miami home game.
Yeah. Wow, this one's actually, I don't know, because Chargers are going to Charger, but
The Chargers are favored to win by 3, by the way.
I'm also afraid that this is going to be Tua's last season because he's going to get another fucking concussion and have to retire.
Oh, I would hate that.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'm going to go Miami.
Joe?
I'm gonna go Miami as well.
All right. It seems like I'm the only one who picked the Chargers. I just think Justin Herbert's incredible and that team is stacked. I just hope they don't blow the game in spectacular fashion.
Chargers gonna charge us.
They'll probably blow like a 14-point lead or something.
We got another divisional game here. The Rams travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Seahawks are favored to win by 5.
I think we've all already talked about our feelings on this.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Hawks.
Everybody in
my gut's saying Rams would take this one.
Oh.
Okay. Rams. We will see. If Matthew Stafford gets hurt, Stetson Bennett's probably going to step in.
Oh, that's why he's choosing. He wants to see that. He wants to see them win too.
You want to see Stetson Bennett
Nice.
take the win?
Yeah.
No, actually, that didn't have anything to do with it, but I mean, that would be nice.
We got Philadelphia traveling to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Philly's projected to win by 4.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Let me go ahead and get this down real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Last 325 game is the Packers travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears are favored to win by 1.5.
Here's one where I want them to win too. Bears.
All right.
Oh, and who's playing? Bears and who?
Packers.
Packers travel to Chicago.
Why is this game not on my money line?
I don't know.
Huh. Apparently, one of the games didn't show up for my money line. I'm going to go with Bears.
I'm
Joe?
going Bears as well.
No faith in the Packers. We'll see how week 1 shakes
None
out.
whatsoever.
We literally said that in our
Yeah,
division prediction.
I'm just-
Everybody said no faith in the Packers.
I'm just rehashing it. All right. I hate that these guys are on prime time again, but the Cowboys travel to New York to take on the Giants on Sunday Night Football.
Giants.
Okay.
Who the Giants play?
Giants.
Cowboys.
Giants pull the upset week 1.
Giants. Yep.
We'll do Giants. I will
That's what I'm
never.
saying.
I will never vote for the Cowboys.
That's fair. I did pick Dallas just because I would like the win, and I'm not gonna. I do dislike the Cowboys, but I mean, I'm going based off of like how often they win.
I
Monday
think
night.
that's going to be one of those week 1 things.
Monday night should be probably one of the best games this week. Buffalo travels to New York to take on the Jets on Monday Night Football. Buffalo is favored to win by 2.5.
So, whereas I'm on the hype train for the Jets to win the division, I think the Jets start the season off with a loss. I think
Yep.
Buffalo takes the win.
It's Buffalo. I think Buffalo's just the better team.
What about
Let's
you,
go
Joe?
in Jets.
Jets. All right. I also have Buffalo winning just because they're more consistent in winning than the Jets have been. But it may change. Things may go wrong, but we'll have to see.
And I might win $25,000.
Jesus.
Can I have a small loan of 69 cents if you do win?
Sure.
Awesome. Well, I guess with that, that's all the time we have for today. We'll get back to you guys with week 2, and I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.